Okay, this is going to be about Maincore, and we're just going to talk about some of the issues about Maincore and the NSA and the recent revelations about the NSA snooping that aren't actually new. Maincore originated in 1982 along with FEMA, which is kind of an interesting coincidence. Unfortunately, Reagan's continuity of operations plan preceded it. Okay, what is Maincore? Maincore is a database held by the NSA that has the names of 8 million Americans listed as possible threats, often for trivial reasons, whom the government may choose to track, question, or detain at a time of crisis. Okay, and there's some important things here. First of all, that there will be a time of crisis. So these people will be, and then as far as being tracked, we already know that basically everyone's already being tracked, but they can pay specific attention to you if you're on this list of Maincore. Okay, let's just keep going forward. And it obviously it has, so I want to get into some of the ramifications without stating all my conclusions initially. First of all, the current administration is collecting the names of sources, whistleblowers, and their families, names of media sources, and everybody they talk to and have talked to, and they already have a huge list. If you're not working for MSNBC or CNN, you're probably on that list, meaning if you're somebody who has a website with brisk readership or you're a conservative, you're most likely on the president's political dissident list, which is the key. Maincore, I'm going to argue in this video that Maincore is a dissident list. There's two groups of people that basically favor what the NSA is doing. It's the neoconservatives because they're afraid of the jihadis, and it's the neo-left because they actually do want to put, for example, Tea Party members in prison because of their beliefs. They actually do want to track Tea Party members or conservatives and put them on dissident lists because that's how the left operates. And then the idiot, to me, I can understand, okay, the left is evil, but the neocons are idiots because they're sitting there worried about jihadis, like there's jihadis under their bed. You're more likely to be killed by your furniture than a jihadi. They're going to give up all our freedoms to protect themselves from jihadis. Meanwhile, the neo-left also likes keeping track of people because they want to create dissident lists of conservatives and Tea Party members and people that believe in the Second Amendment. So what are they going to do with Maincore? Well, here's what they did with one guy. Michael Hastings was assassinated. Michael Hastings was doing a story about the CIA, and he was under investigation by the FBI. And the media treated this like it was just a car accident, but it was not. I have some experience with, because I was the record driver in San Antonio for 2 years for basically for the city of San Antonio Police Department. I picked up 7 crashes a day, and I can tell you, you don't have the paint burnt off your car because you ran into a tree. Especially it's a Mercedes and the engine went 50 meters down the road. That does not happen. The guy was assassinated. Period. End of sentence. Okay, so if you're politically active and they don't like you, they'll just take you out. And after they take more people out, less people will speak out, and then that's the end of free speech. Okay? According to some survey, 57% of Americans believe the government will use the information to harass political opponents, which means that, almost everyone understands this except for the neocons and neoconservatives. Might be about 57%. I mean, it's surprisingly a large number of people that are getting it. It almost might overlap into some neocons might realize they're going to use this list to harass political opponents, and some of the neo-left might have admitted it, even though they know that's what they want to do with the list. So here's where you're going to end up if you're on the list. And this is this list of FEMA camps here. And this is my main point of this. Everybody knows that America is basically in decline, and that basically it's become a decadent totalitarian, going on fascist society. More so, I would argue, than other societies that slid into fascism. In other words, we've achieved a greater degree of cultural and societal decadence and immorality, and even sort of fascist tendencies, than other states that slid into fascism. So it's certainly not irrational to imagine we're going there. And when we do, all the things that happened under fascism in the past are going to happen. That means if you're on Maincore, what I'm getting at is you better be concerned. You better be concerned, and you better do something. Because if you don't exercise your free speech rights now, you're going to be in a FEMA camp later. Okay, and here's executive orders. You could just look up the FEMA Corps executive orders, okay? I'm not going to go through it right now, but just be aware they are there. Now, why do we have Maincore? All the neocons and neo-left are sitting there. Oh, but we need Maincore. Why? To protect us from jihadis? But wait, according to Noam Chomsky, a leading liberal, the Obama administration is dedicated to increasing terrorism. In fact, it's doing it all over the world. Obama is running the biggest terrorist operation that exists maybe in history. Okay? So we're protecting ourselves from what with Maincore? Terrorists. But who are the terrorists? The U.S. government. See, the logic doesn't add up. And if the neoliberals want to use Maincore to protect us from conservatives, well, that's just Stalinism. I mean, again, it doesn't, And how much data are they collecting? A yottabyte, which is 10 to the 24th bytes. But here's the thing. Here's the key point. The key point on the whole issue is this. Now, more than ever, people need to be very careful about what they say, because it could place you in a bucket that you don't want to end up in. Meaning, you see how, because of the loss of the Fourth Amendment, which is about searches and seizures, we're going to lose the First Amendment, which is about free speech. Key point. Okay, and here's a list of amendments. Fourth, searches and seizures. First, free speech. Because of taking away the fourth, the criminals like Eric Schmidt at Google, sociopathic criminals like him that think they can take away the Fourth Amendment, and then they pretend that they support free speech, which is a lie. He's a criminal. He does not support free speech. People that have lost their Fourth Amendment are now going to not exercise their First Amendment, which means we won't have free speech. And without free speech, every society goes into total police state fascist tyranny. Okay, so there's two main points in this video. First point is that if you're on Maincore, you better do something now. And second point is how Maincore is ultimately an attack on free speech. Thank you.